Superhero movies rely on cliché tropes to captivate audiences. Here's why they're great. The origin story traces the main character's journey from an ordinary person to a superhero. Think of Peter Parker's transformation from a regular high schooler to a superhero after a radioactive spider bites him. Transformative events like this often spark origin story tropes, forcing the main character to reckon with their newfound power. This can be accompanied by a traumatic event or a formative experience to help explain the new superhero's motivation to fight justice, like when Uncle Ben dies. Great origin stories carry emotional weight. In Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne carries the trauma of witnessing his parents' murder, motivating him to become the famous vigilante and use his wealth in a quest to save Gotham. Many superheroes keep their true identities hidden from society. The secret identity trope complicates the main character's arc because they must balance their personal lives with their heroic actions. Consider how Clark Kent maintains an identity as a regular reporter to protect those he loves. We see this in the 1978 Superman movie. Spider-Man also keeps his identity secret to protect his love interests, friends, and family. The secret identity trope helps audiences relate to the superheroes' relationship. Batman, Daredevil, and even Blue Beetle all entertain secret identities. Many superhero movies utilize the mentor trope. Mentors can provide guidance or training to the hero. They can help them develop their powers or understand their responsibilities. In Iron Man, Yinsen mentors Tony Stark, influencing his transformation from a self-absorbed arms dealer to a selfless hero by showing him how his weapons impact innocent lives. Mentors are often wiser, more experienced characters and may have their own tragic pasts, adding depth to the superhero's journey, especially in the beginning. Think of how the Ancient One teaches Doctor Strange a combination of mystical knowledge, self-discipline, and philosophical insights. The mentor trope helps audiences imagine the superhero's true potential and likely sacrifices required to achieve greatness. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video, it really helps with the algorithm, thanks. The Nemesis is a common trope in superhero movies. Many superhero stories feature an antagonist whose values, goals, and powers oppose those of the hero. In The Dark Knight, the Joker represents chaos, while Batman represents order. The Nemesis trope often frames villains as dark mirrors, reflecting the superhero's insecurities or amplifying their flaws. The Nemesis is usually a powerful figure, creating high stakes designed to push the hero to their limits and test their resolve. In Black Panther, Killmonger challenges T'Challa on Wakanda's isolationist policies and forces him to rethink his responsibility to the world. Other famous Nemesis tropes include Thor vs. Loki, Superman vs. Lex Luthor, or Captain America vs. Red Skull. The theme of sacrifice is prevalent in superhero movies, with main characters often risking their lives or personal happiness to save others. Think of how Tony Stark sacrifices himself to defeat Thanos in Endgame. This trope reinforces the idea of selflessness as an essential quality of heroism. Tony Stark's sacrifice highlights his growth from self-centered billionaire to a selfless hero. You can see how the mentor trope also feeds into this particular storyline. The hero sacrifice trope often becomes a pivotal moment that adds emotional weight to the story, and at times, the sacrifice comes from a secondary character. For instance, in Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor sacrifices himself to destroy a plane carrying deadly gas, inspiring Wonder Woman to continue fighting for humanity. The power corrupts trope explores the danger of power when it goes unchecked or when it falls into the wrong hands. It somewhat serves as a dark reflection of the origin story because a traumatic event often sparks it. For instance, in The Dark Knight, Harvey Dent's transformation into Two-Face shows how trauma and desire for vengeance can corrupt the purest individuals. Dent is corrupted by his own power, but at times, external factors can corrupt the hero and their power. Think of how Peter Parker is overtaken by the Venom symbiote in Spider-Man 3. He becomes a more powerful, darker version of himself, endangering others. In some cases, the power corrupts trope serves as a warning about the consequences of abusing power. In The Batman, corrupt officials like the mayor and the attorney general pay the ultimate price for corrupting power. Please share more examples for each trope in the comments below. There were so many examples to choose from and I could not feature them all. Superhero movies of late brought to the big screen the team-ups trope we've often seen in comics. Team-ups bring together multiple heroes to face a common threat. Think of how the Avengers united Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and other superheroes to fight Loki. The team-ups trope emphasizes the importance of unity in facing an unprecedented threat that cannot be fought alone, like how a single superhero cannot defeat Thanos. This trope also forces characters with different skills, personalities, and motivations to interact and find consensus in the face of a world-threatening supervillain. In Justice League, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, and others must unite despite their differences to defeat Steppenwolf. And let's be real, the team-ups trope is also an excellent way to excite audiences. McGuffin Chase tropes are also widely used in superhero movies. MacGuffins are plot-driving objects or elements that characters must obtain, protect, or destroy, like how the Justice League must band together to prevent the mother boxes from falling into the hands of Steppenwolf. McGuffin Chases often serve as a high-stakes source of conflict designed to drive the story forward. In superhero movies, these objects are often powerful artifacts or sources of power that could determine the fate of the world if they fall into the wrong hands. In Guardians of the Galaxy, the orb drives the plot as various factions try to acquire it. It's later revealed that the orb was a vessel for one of the Infinity Stones. In the Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, the Infinity Stones are also MacGuffins. Thanos seeks the stones to achieve universal domination. The Avengers must prevent this, making for a thrilling plot device. If you like content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. This is the first episode in my Cliché series in which I plan to cover other movie genres. In the meantime, you can enjoy past videos like 5-minute explainers, movie analysis, and lore breakdown. The hero's romantic interest trope is not unique to superhero movies. Romance often serves as a subplot in many genres. But in superhero movies, the hero's romantic interest is used as a contrast to the action and is often placed in danger, leading to additional stakes and emotional depth. In Spider-Man 2, Mary Jane becomes a target for Dr. Octopus, who seeks to manipulate Peter Parker. He kidnaps Mary Jane and uses her as leverage to lure Spider-Man into a confrontation. This storyline also plays into the secret identity trope as Spider-Man must confront his dual identity. I could not make a video about superhero movie tropes without discussing post-credit scenes. If I'm not mistaken, in the superhero genre, post-credit teasers were originally popularized by Marvel Studios. The goal is usually to build anticipation for sequels or expanded universe projects, like how Iron Man's post-credit scenes introduced Nick Fury, marking the beginning of the interconnected stories of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Justice League also has a post-credit scene featuring Lex Luthor assembling a league of villains. Let me know what your favorite post-credits scene is. Subscribe for more content like this and check out this video, I think you'll like it.